Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today I'm doing another 100-mile loop to figure out fuel economy. About a month ago, I took my 2021 Ford F-150 hybrid on the same loop. I drive west to east to kind of, with the wind usually blows to the west, that way it equals things out. This is a 2021 Nissan Titan. It's got 9-speed. It's got a 5.6-liter V8 in it. I'm going to reset the trip odometer. It's been filled up, maybe 2 miles off because he went to the gas station, came back. So I'm going to add 2 miles to whatever number I come up with. And we'll go ahead and hit the road. And I'll kind of show you some driving conditions, and I'll show you what the TAC is doing as we get to driving. But let's go ahead and flip this camera around. And let's reset that trip. There we go. Fully reset. So let me hit the road and let's see how well it does on fuel economy. The estimation from the EPA is 17 combined, 15 city, 20 highway. Let's see if we can't get to 20. Okay, I thought I'd give a little update from the road. This is 70 miles an hour at about 2,000 RPMs. Conditions are about 37 degrees, 20-25 miles an hour wind heading west. So we'll turn on and head east and take that wind at our back. But you kind of hear my voice a little bit. This thing is riding a little more rough than I would imagine. I thought it was maybe the Pro 4X. I mean, the roads aren't that bad of shape roads, and boy, it doesn't have much give. It's been kind of hitting pretty hard. Suspension definitely is my friend, and I'm holding this camera I'm holding this thing as tight as I can hold it, and this is still moving a little bit. So just let me keep in mind, you'll see with the F-150, it's a little more smooth of a ride, but it's not bad. Just more of a truck feel versus the F-150, I would say. Okay, we're at the halfway spot, so we can see 50.2 miles, 16.2 mile per gallon, which I think is pretty good. I mean, it has gotten windier out here. I've actually drove into a winter weather wind warning going this distance, so we're gonna flip around and head back. So I feel good about 16.2. I also want to clarify, the reason I said it rode a little rougher than I expected is that I've driven the Tundra TRD Pro, I've driven the Chevy Trail Boss, GMC 84, Ram Rebel. I've driven these off-road trucks, Raptor, and they ride smoother than this truck does, and I was kind of just surprised by it. I wanted to comment about it. Just was a little surprised. I thought this would ride a little bit better. Sometimes it does, the off-road package. Sometimes the shocks, suspension, that stuff does make a difference. So just coming about that, we're gonna head back to town and hit the gas station and fill up, and we'll see what our fuel economy is. See if I can get to 20. Maybe. One behind me. Might be able to get there. Okay, just got back into town, so 102.3, 19 miles per gallon. I'm at the gas station here. I had to drive around town a little bit to find 91 octane, which is recommended in this truck, not required. Recommended to get the most horsepower and torque, and since I'll be towing with this late in the week, I wanted to do that, get that better fuel economy. So just honk the horn too. Whoops. Let's get some fuel and let's see what the number is on the calculator. Okay, we have 5.915 gallons of 91 octane. I'll put this back, but see, it says right here, premium fuel is recommended for maximum performance. So 5.915. Let's go figure out what that is inside. Okay, so remember the screen said 19 miles. I just moved away from the gas pump a little bit, so I wasn't somebody's way. But remember I told you I was going to add 2 more miles because they brought it from the gas station over to my house. So now, when I take 104.3 plus those 2 miles divided by 5.915, I get 17.6 miles per gallon. And this just dropped. It just dropped from 19 down to 18.8 just sitting here idling. So it was 19, and when let's say I take away those 2 miles, let's say we go 102.3 divided by 5.915, 17.2, so it's half a mile per gallon difference. So yeah, I got 17. Now that's, I would expect a little bit better than that. 17.6 was more closer to getting towards 20, but there are a few small towns I went through, so some of my speeds went down from like 70 down to 40 down to 30, then back up. So maybe it's closer to the combined number, which I'm still satisfied with, 17. And because it's hard to drive highway all the time without ever pulling over for gas, pulling over to pier, that kind of stuff. So let's go get in the Ford and see how that does. All right, so you may have noticed last night, like I said, when I brought it back, we filled it up. It says 1.7 miles on the trip, so I think that's pretty accurate to what it was on that drive. And so we're going to go do the same drive, and we'll see what the fuel economy numbers are on this hybrid. Now, it is 43 degrees. It's warmed up about 12 degrees, but the wind is going to start kicking up. So I'm going to try to get westbound as fast as I can. It's supposed to hit about noon, and it's 9:49. So I should be able to get there and come back, and it should be pretty accurate numbers. Well, best I can this time of year. We get a lot of wind in this part of the country. Okay, a little update from the road. We're doing 70 miles an hour. You can see the tack. See, we have some electric driving through these towns, like good electric mode only. Kind of coast to the towns, and there's our fuel economy from the update from the road. Good old Wyoming still. A couple points is that I have adaptive cruise set up, so I can kind of press the button. It says distance between the vehicle in front of me. It's nice. I like this feature, driving these long distances. I also have lane departure, which I can turn on right here, and it's lane keeping assist, and it'll keep me in the lane. So if I tend to veer over here, it doesn't let me. So I basically can drive like this because I have lane keep assist and I have adaptive cruise. Is it fully self-driving? No. Is it sort of autonomous driving? Semi, we would call that. They're just safety features, driver safety features, but some people will get them confused with autonomous driving. But that is the update from the road. We'll get back to town, 100 miles or so, and we'll fill it up. All right, 87 octane. Wind starting to blow. 4.523. All right, it's a busy gas pump. I just moved out of the way a little bit, but we got 101 miles, 101. We have some electric driving, 14 miles electric driving, 23.5 miles per gallon. So then looking at this, let's see, we got 101 divided by 4.523 goes 22.33. So within a mile per gallon difference, just so. It's not as accurate as I wanted it to be, but that's what we got hand calculated versus non-hand calculated. There you go. There are the final numbers of the 100 mile an hour drive. I'll put some specs on the screen. You can see the specs of Nissan Titan, and you see the specs of Ford F-150 and kind of do the comparison just based on specs. I can tell you, from my opinion, the differences really are coming down to a couple things. First, the Ford has better fuel economy. It has more features, like it's got the power on board, it's got 7.2 kilowatt in this one, big 10-inch screen. It rides more like a sedan, and I find it to be more comfortable inside the cabin. Those are pros, but also they're cons. More stuff to brake, doesn't ride like a truck like I'd want it to ride, and I don't know if these cloth seats going to wear as well as a leather will inside a Nissan Titan. Seems like you get more of the off-road goodies in the Nissan Titan versus the F-150 with the bigger tires. I do have a locking differential in this, and that also has locking differential, so kind of both are about the same there. But that one's got more off-road clearance and kind of looks pretty cool with the way its setup is. So some differences there as well. Doesn't get as good fuel economy, and you got to use, like I said, you don't have to use the premium. You can use like 87 and you'll get 390 horsepower, which is really good. I mean, I don't notice 20 horsepower anyways, so I think it could run on that no problem at all. But I think they're really interesting trucks to compare. I think the Nissan Titan sometimes gets thrown to the curb because the sales numbers aren't as great or whatever, but it's a solidly built truck. It's one of the most reliable trucks. We've done videos on reliability. It's had really good market reliability, and it's a pretty solid truck, and I think it's worth looking at. I think it's really worth doing some comparisons and really seeing what fits your needs better and what you like better. And if you like that big V8 exhaust, because I do. That's one of the problems with the Power Boost is it doesn't sound that great. So but again, it's not a big deal. The older I get, maybe the less I don't need the big exhaust note. I don't know. I'll get back to you on that one. Hey, for more Pickup Truck Plus SUV news, check this video out over here. It's a good time. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.